Graveyard magic. Graveyard magic can be used for all types of purposes, and technically, not all of them are baneful. So, there are ways to work with graveyard spirits for protection and for prosperity, but most often, you will see graveyard magic being performed for baneful purposes like unaliving magic and in binding spells or magic where a sorcerer can summon a cemetery spirit to attach to a person. Once the graveyard spirit has been attached to a person, that spirit will then do the bidding of the witch or the warlock who sent it. In other words, how the graveyard spirit affects a person's life is going to depend on the demands and the commands of the sorcerer behind the spell work. Hello, beautiful people. It is Oshun Kimmy, your sage, your guru, your mystic, and your spiritual informant. And today we are uncovering the mystery behind the magic of graveyard spells, unaliving magic, and monitoring spirits. How is this magic performed? What are the signs? And of course, what are the remedies? Okay, let's dive right in. So, graveyard magic can be performed in a variety of ways. One common way is by placing or burying jars, photos, dolls, or a person's personal items like their clothing or their hair in the cemetery. Another way it can be performed is simply by using graveyard dirt in the spell work. So collecting the dirt from the cemetery and then using it in spell work. I've already talked before about how food can be hexed using bewitched ingredients, and graveyard dirt is certainly one of those ingredients that can be used to hex food. It can also be used in charm bags along with other ingredients that a sorcerer may then bury on someone's property, place in someone's home, or in their car. So please beware that I am sharing this information to help people who suspect that this magic is being performed against them, because these are the types of things that I wish I knew when I was out here confused and bewildered for years, ignorant of how baneful magic actually worked. So I'm not here to encourage anyone to harm people using this type of spell work. I am here to inform, okay? So now let's get into some signs of graveyard magic. A super prominent sign of graveyard magic is going to be feeling watched, followed, or stalked in some way, especially at night. So when a spirit has been sent to me, I can literally feel its presence. And for those who are familiar with my story, I've already talked about how in those early days when I was being spiritually attacked and didn't even know the types of things that were possible using witchcraft and using magic, my home would get very eerie at night. I would just end up holding myself up in my room around a certain time every night because I could literally feel the energy of my house shift once nightfall came. So, feeling watched or stalked is a sign of having a graveyard spirit attached or binded to you. As I was discussing in the beginning, when a cemetery spirit has been attached to a person, those spirits become monitoring spirits that can literally watch your life and become a messenger for the sorcerer. So, where if a sorcerer wants to gain intel on you and the happenings of your life, they will attach a spirit to you simply to watch you. And as they learn more about your habits, your lifestyle, your routine, your weaknesses, and etc., then they will task that spirit with the job of interfering or disrupting with your routine, your lifestyle, which can, of course, lead to issues at your job, issues in your relationships, chaos in the home, chaos between partners, and etc. This type of stuff really goes deep, y'all. So there are folks that are literally out here doing nobody's work but the devil's, okay? I'm just saying. Another big sign of having graveyard magic performed on you is seeing a lot of flies, roaches, gnats, all of which are signs of dead or decaying things being around. So these types of pests like to be around dead and decaying things. So a major sign that the energy of death or decay is around you is seeing pests, especially when you keep a clean house and there should physically be no legitimate reason why you should be seeing these types of pests. Also, flies and gnats are signs of monitoring spirits. They are essentially the physical form or manifestation of monitoring spirits that are sent to watch and disturb you. Spirits are always going to have a telltale sign. And this is why it's important to know the science of the spirits that you are dealing with, because they have forms, they have signs, they have smells, they have things that are associated with them, where as you get to know the spirit that has been sent to you, you will know their telltale signs as well. And then you will also know how to defeat them and how to outsmart them, right? So, a third sign of graveyard magic is going to be nightmares, dreams of eating, and trouble sleeping, like waking up in the middle of the night, especially if you're waking up between 1 and 3 in the morning. I've talked before about how when someone is dreaming of eating, they are not actually consuming what they are thinking they are consuming. They are actually consuming spirits and energy. So anytime someone has eating dreams and they are eating in those dreams, it is a spirit's way of binding itself deeper into you and deeper into your spirit. Honestly, there's so much I can say about eating in dreams. I have to make more videos on that topic. So related to this third sign, the fourth sign of graveyard magic is going to be mental and emotional issues and psychosis. Many people who are hearing voices and hearing negative and disturbing things being spoken to them are not delusional or hallucinating, as a doctor or a psychologist might say that they are. They are actually picking up on and tuning in to the spiritual presences that are around them. When you are spiritually gifted and you can pick up on spirits, there is a very thin line between being psychic and psychotic. This is why we got to take care of our mental, emotional, and spiritual health out here, okay? When a graveyard spirit has been attached to a person, that person may notice changes in their personality. And this is where we're getting into the conversation of psychosis and emotional and mental issues. They could be feeling a lot more aggressive than they normally would, a lot more sexual than they normally would, even sadder than they usually would feel. And this is where we're moving into the realm of spiritual possession and spiritual oppression. All of this stuff is very real, and you may not be out here foaming at the mouth. You just may be out here acting very different, and that is a sign of being spiritually possessed. And so emotional disturbances are definitely a sign of cemetery spirits, because these types of spirits cause and feed on emotional and mental decay. So now let's go ahead and dive into some remedies. All right, so when dealing with graveyard spirits, spiritual cleansing is going to be your literal best friend. Spiritually cleansing your home, yourself, and your linen on a regular basis. And the home floor washes and washing your door frames are going to do wonders for you, because these spirits actually walk around and they leave a trail. They're going to leave a trail at your doorway. They're going to leave a trail on your floors. So you need to be spiritually cleansing those areas. The same way that you would boil herbs for a spiritual wash or a spiritual bath, you can use those same herbs and that same herbal water to mop your floors. When I am creating my spiritual wash, I will just create a big pot of it, and I will use some for the floors and some for myself. And when you are using it as a floor wash, you're going to still add in your heavy duty cleansers, your pine sol, your ammonia, your vinegar, your bluing tablets, Florida water, of course. When it comes to your spiritual baths or spiritual showers, herbs like rue, hyssop, tobacco, tulsi, aka holy basil, and other banishing herbs are going to be crucial. If you need to know what types of herbs you can use, y'all, a simple Google search will do you wonders. Herbs for banishing, herbs for protection, etc. When it comes to spiritual baths, there are multiple categories of baths: banishing baths, white baths, sweet baths. So you should be taking a variation of these baths in your spiritual practice. So knowing what type of bath you'll need is going to be crucial also for dealing with these types of spirits. It should not be months in between your spiritual baths. They should be taken at least every 2 weeks. For people who are under spiritual warfare, it's best to do it every single week, okay? When dealing with graveyard magic that is disturbing your sleep, this is where spiritually cleansing your linen is going to come into play. So in addition to your regular detergent, your regular laundry detergent, you can add in things like ammonia, salt, cascarilla, or Effun, lavender water cologne, Florida water cologne, and any other thing that you feel called to add. This is where using and exercising our intuition is going to come into play. Of course, there are many other things that can be done when it comes to dealing with graveyard magic because there is no one size fits all remedy for spell work. Therefore, if you would like to gain clarity and solutions in regards to your specific situation, please do not hesitate to book a reading. And of course, if you would like to go deeper into the mystery behind the magic and deeper into learning to wield your own spiritual power, come on over and join us on the Patreon. The links for both readings and the Patreon will be pinned in the comments below. Peace and blessings, beautiful people. Selah.